Do you ever get bloated and uncomfortable? Watch this video and I'll show you how to reduce that stomach bloat naturally. Hi, this is Ivana and my goal is to help you get fit, healthy, and strong. Please do subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so you get your notifications. Today I'm going to talk to you about stomach bloating, which is something that pretty much everybody experiences at some point. I have had irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, for about 20 years now. So that's something that I've had to deal with for a long time. And I've spent tons of time researching and trying to find the best ways of dealing with stomach bloating. And I'm going to share some of those with you today. If you'd like me to make a video just about IBS, then please do comment below. I'm going to start off talking about stomach bloating, but by stomach bloating I also want to talk about full digestive bloating. So we're not just talking about the stomach that's at the top here, but also the entire gut, so the small intestine and the large intestine, which are about 7 meters in length. So that's about 20 feet for my American friends. So it's quite a long digestive tract that you have to deal with. And you're going to learn today about how you can reduce bloating throughout the digestive tract. In order to digest your meals well, you want to have a few things in place. So the first thing is eat smaller meals. So if you have a very large amount of food, that's obviously going to fill your stomach up more, and it's going to be harder for that food to pass through the digestive tract. So start with small meals. The next thing you want to do is eat slowly. So I know this is really difficult to do. I often find myself gulping a lot of food down sometimes, but eating slowly really makes a difference. If you chew thoroughly, you're less likely to get air coming in as you're eating the food, and that air that you're taking in is going to fill up that digestive tract and cause bloating. So eat slowly and take your time. The next thing you want to be aware of is reducing your intake of gas-producing foods. So there are some foods that are kind of known for being gas producing, right? There's beans, they make you toot, right? Everyone knows that one. So beans, obviously, those can be a little hard on the digestion and they can cause bloating. Lentils, legumes, so soybeans and peanuts and that type of thing. Also cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower and cabbage, those can also cause a bit of bloating. The one thing that some people aren't aware of is that fructose, so that's a fruit sugar, and it's found in all fruit, but particularly in certain fruits. So apples and pears and peaches have a lot of fructose, whereas things like blueberries don't have as much fructose. So fructose, if you're sensitive to it, can cause a bit of bloating. So you want to reduce your intake of foods that have fructose in them. And it's not always just fruit. Also some vegetables like asparagus or green peas and zucchini also have quite a high amount of fructose. So that's something to be aware of if your stomach is often bloated. Another thing that you want to do if you want to reduce stomach bloating is to not drink liquids with meals. So again, I talked about how a large volume of food may cause a problem and may cause bloating. So if you add a lot of liquid to that food, you're also increasing that big mass that's going through your digestive tract. So try to avoid drinking any sort of liquid with your meal. You can have, say, a glass before, like half an hour before your meal, but try to avoid drinking with meals. Particularly carbonated beverages, even if it's soda water, that adds a lot of air as well. So we talked about why you don't want extra air in your digestive tract. So try not to drink liquids with your meals, and certainly not carbonated beverages. Number 5 is increase your intake of fiber gradually. Fiber is really, really important for your health. It lowers your cholesterol levels. It helps your digestion in general. Women should have about 25 grams of fiber per day. Men should have about 38 grams of fiber per day. So that varies a little bit based on your body size. If you're a smaller man or a larger woman, then it may vary a little, but those are the general guidelines. And it really is useful to get fiber. However, if you currently are not consuming a lot of fiber, and most people are not, they're not eating enough fiber in general, So if you're not, say you're only having like 10 grams of fiber a day, it's not a great idea to just bump that right up to 30 grams the next day, because that in itself can increase bloating. Your body needs time to adapt to that fiber. So over the course of a couple of weeks, you can gradually increase your fiber intake, and that will give your digestive tract a chance to adjust to all that fiber. It's also very important that you consume enough water between meals, of course, because we've already talked about why you don't want to have water with your meals, but consume enough water between meals so that it helps that fiber move through your system, and then you're going to have optimal digestive function. Another thing I want you to be aware of, don't chew gum or drink through a straw. So earlier on I talked about how you don't want to put more air into your system while you're eating or drinking. So chewing gum, when you're chewing gum, you're also taking in air. So that can increase the bloating in your digestive system. And the same thing with drinking through a straw. If you're drinking through a straw, you're also going to be gulping down extra air. And that's not what you want. That will increase your stomach bloat. So please try to avoid that. And the final thing I want you to be aware of is your individual sensitivities to food. So not everybody can deal with dairy. Not everybody can deal with wheat or gluten. Some people have a hard time, like I said, dealing with fructose. Not everybody, of course. And I'm not saying that dairy is bad. Some people, in fact, can have dairy that's lactose-free. Even if they have an issue with lactose, then they can still have lactose-free dairy. So it's all very individual. You have to pay attention to how you feel, a couple hours or several hours after having a particular food, and then you'll be more aware of like what works for you and what doesn't work for you. So that's something that you kind of need to experiment yourself and just figure out what sensitivities that you have. Comment below, please, if you've noticed anything that kind of is hard on your digestive system. For me, I have a really hard time with garlic. Garlic seems to be in everything, unfortunately, and I love the taste of it. And it's not so much for bloating, although it does cause a little bit of bloating for me as well, but the heartburn is really bad for me. So garlic is one of those things I know I have to avoid as much as possible. If you've got one of those things, please do comment below. So I hope you've learned a little bit about reducing stomach bloating. I want to help you on your healthy fitness journey, so please head over to my website, ivannachapman.com. I'm offering a free ebook there, so you can get that just for joining up for my email list. If you enjoyed my video, please do give me a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the bell to be notified. And I look forward to seeing you soon.